how do we see others? Do we see people around us as our true brothers and sisters, or just as strangers, or even worse, as foreigners, pagans, or people who have no relation with us? When this woman was caught, she was dragged harshly by others to the temple area. She was standing in the middle of the crowd. She was weak, powerless, hopeless, waiting to be stoned to death. She was standing in the middle because there was no way to escape. All people around her were strong enough to throw stones at her. All around her were accusations and curses. Everyone wanted to kill her. So this description sounds familiar to us also. In reality, the current situation of this woman then is the very situation in which many people are. This woman could be any one of us, or we can say that each one of us, in one way or another, is like this woman. Why? Because when we have committed a mortal sin, our soul is surrounded by demons. They bring our soul to the throne of God, accusing that eternal death would be given to us. This poor soul should be condemned to eternal fire. So what would be the response from God the Father? The Father said, even though he or she has committed a mortal sin, he or she is still my child. He or she is still my son or daughter. I still love him or her. Then what do you want for ransom? The demon said, I want to be paid by body and blood from you, in exchange for this poor soul. Then the two parties agreed. So this is the very thing happening when we commit a mortal sin. That is why when Jesus came to the world, he carried the sins and burdens of the whole humanity, both in the past, the present, and in the future. Because God sees each one of us as his son or daughter. So the scribes and the Pharisees, they take this poor woman as a stranger, as a criminal, and a lawbreaker. But Jesus takes this woman as a daughter of God first, as a daughter of God the Father first. And Jesus wants others to realize that this poor woman is one of them. First and foremost, she is their sister, an Israelite, having Abraham as her father. Then secondly, she is a sinner. So I hope each one of us can see the sequence. First, this woman is a daughter, a child of God, then a sinner. So that is why Jesus said, let the one among you who is without sin be the first one to throw a stone at her. So I remember several years ago when I had a meditation on this Bible passage. So I became like a little child. So during that meditation, I became like a little child. Then when I see the people dragging this woman just inside the chapel, inside the temple area, then they were ready to throw the stone at her. So I began to cry. So I shouted, I cried and I shouted to the people around. I said, no, do not throw stone at her because she is my sister. So this is how I realized that Jesus wants us to see others first and foremost as our brother and sister. Then if he or she commits something wrong, so we shoulder the same burden and punishment with her or him. So when Jesus came to the world, he did not teach us or his disciples any other prayer, but only our Father, because he wants all of us to see others as our real brother and sister, and we have one common Father in heaven. If we really treat others as our own brother and sister, when they commit something wrong, what would we do? We help them to correct. We help them to walk toward eternal life instead of killing, punishment, and eternal death. So today, Jesus gave us a lesson to see, especially those people who are around us, those people we meet along the way, especially those maybe we don't know their name, they are strangers to us, but they are also our brothers and sisters.